Hi, everybody. This is Alex Bennett, and it's time for our daily news break. Here I am. How are you? This little thing we're doing every day, kind of just a shorty, going to be like about 5 minutes long, maybe 6 minutes long. And just tell you what some of the daily news items are, and then also to play a clip from last night's show and a few other little things. But it's time to look at the news right now. President Donald Trump said Thursday his meeting with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un will take place in June. That's about a month from now. The highly anticipated meeting between Kim Jong-un and himself will take at the place in Singapore. They were looking for a lot of different places to do it. The DMZ was completely out of the question, I guess, for one reason or another. So Kim Jong-un is going to have to travel outside of his comfort zone and go to Singapore, which is about as neutral a place as you can find. He says, we will both try to make it a very special moment for world peace. If you think about it, Kim Jong-un is getting exactly what he wanted. He held on to those prisoners as collateral. And when he needed them, he let them go. And as I said yesterday, 3 less mouths to feed in Korea in a country that's starving is not a bad idea. So basically, so far, Trump is being played for a chump, or the Trump chump, as we'd like to call him. The announcement comes after 3 Americans detained in North Korea arrived at Andrews Air Force Base on Thursday morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, and the president was there. I guess this man never sleeps, or either that or he's awake all night and is a vampire. Anyway. 28 more illnesses caused by a E. coli outbreak tied to the tainted romaine lettuce were reported by U.S. health officials on Wednesday. So far, a total of 149 cases caused by a particularly virulent strain of E. coli, which usually comes from animal crap, have been reported. So keep away from the romaine lettuce. I think they say most of it came out of, if I remember correctly, out of Arizona. But, how do you know when you're shopping at the store? Probably if you go to the store, they don't have romaine lettuce right now because nobody's buying it. Senate Democrats and a single Republican moved to force a vote to restore net neutrality protections on Wednesday. A group of senators led by Democratic leader Chuck Schumer and Senator Edward J. Markey of Massachusetts filed a discharge petition necessary to trigger a vote to overrule the Federal Communications Commission decision to revoke the Obama-era protections. Revoking net neutrality means that my little show like this might not get to you quite as easily as it used to, because certain people will be given preference to the use of the internet, which I like to think of as a wholly democratic, probably the most democratic and egalitarian system that we have in this country, and we got to fight for net neutrality, okay? The Ford Motor Company announced Wednesday it's temporarily going to halt the production of F-150s. That's one of the most popular cars. It's a truck, and due to a U.S. factory's fire at one of its parts suppliers. One of the parts suppliers had a fire, and they can't get the parts for the damn thing. The production will be suspended at Ford plants in Dearborn, Michigan, Kansas City, Missouri, and at the company's plant in Louisville, Kentucky. Production will be decreased. It's not yet clear whether the F-150 production will ever return to normal levels, but I guess we'll find out. And by the way, California always likes to lead the pack, and they do a wonderful job of it. They like to lead the pack in just all the things that are right. They got pot out there, and they want to take care of immigrants, and it's a good state. I'm glad I'm from there. I wish I were back there, because at least they have a humane quality to them, all under Pat Brown, who is very much a humanist. California became the first state to require all new homes to be built with solar panels Wednesday after a vote by the state's Energy Commission. Hooray for California. They voted 5-0 to add a requirement to the state's building code. It goes into effect January 1st, 2020, and includes all condominiums and apartment buildings up to 3 stories high. So this means solar panels, folks, solar panels. it's a step forward. Let's face it. And the picture today that we have for you, this is almost eerily spooky. You would think that this, in fact, were the happy royal couple that are about to be married, Prince Harry and Mrs. Markle, or Ms. Markle, and this is them. But no, it's not them. This is the version of them at Madame Tussauds Wax Museum in London. Looks eerily good, doesn't it? Usually those wax museum figures don't look as realistic as this, but there they are. And congratulations to them and the happy couple who are going to be getting married soon. Last night on the Ramble, we got into a whole discussion for most of the show about all the ways in which our lives are being impacted and interrupted by things like robocalls and things on the internet. Like I commented that Facebook, it's great at going after the Russians, but it doesn't do anything about the fact that how many times on your messenger, on Facebook, have you gotten a notice recently that from some friend saying, hey, go do this thing, and it's some kind of like commercial thing. I did this and it's terrific. And then you go to that, and of course, then you get a hold of your friend. You say, "Did you send me this thing?" And then he goes, "No, I never sent that to you." I've had several people write me and say, "Did you get this message about some kind of offer that you liked?" And I've said, "No, I didn't do that. I didn't send that to you." Why doesn't Facebook do something about that? They go after the Russians, okay? They're going to hurt us less than these people who are trying to scam us, okay? And by the way, I have 500 people as friends on Facebook. I'm only allowed 500, so nobody else can get on. If you go under 500, all of a sudden you're getting requests to be friends with a bunch of hookers. Facebook doesn't do anything about that, so that was my major complaint last night. But, our old friend Patrick had a way of solving the whole damn thing.
What I've done, you guys know that I've done the porn orgasm thing in the past.
What? And, well, explain that to them, because they're all looking at you with quizzical looks.
Well, I use a fart.
And by the way, every guy hands above the table while he tells his story. Okay.
I know that I've told this one in the past, that what I've done on a few of these idiots that call for either the IRS or whatever it is I tell them, just a minute, let me go talk with my girlfriend, and then I will put on my computer. I found them on some free sounds or whatever, and a woman having an orgasm. So I have that stored as a file. And what I do is I put my phone down right by the speaker on the computer, hit play, and let the orgasm go through, and and eventually they hang up.
Oh, eventually they hang up. And that was our cut from our show last night. Patrick is always an absolute delight, and we love having him here whenever we can. By the way, want to remind you that we are live every night with the Ramble from, let's see here, from 10 until midnight. And you can find it if you want to watch it by going to youtube.com/Bolo Bennett live. That's the address right there. Okay. And if you put that, if you actually go to that page, you can make it a tab on your browser, and it'll be there all the time. And if you notice on that page, there's a countdown to the next show. When the next show goes on, that page will automatically become active with the show. So if you want to watch the Ramble tonight, that's a good way to do it. We're also on Roku, of course, and we're also posting this on our show on the Facebook page and on YouTube itself after the shows are over. But if you want to see it live, that's where you go each and every night. And we'll really love having you as a viewer. We're very appreciative of anybody that wants to be a viewer. Anyway, we hope you'll join us. And by the way, while you're at YouTube, be sure to subscribe to us. That's a great deal of help to us. That's it for right now. We have no more, and we'll see you again tomorrow with another Alex Bennett News Break.